Hey there friends, Tara Young here with Tara Young Outdoors. I was asked recently by a good friend of mine, Keith, of Gone Feral with Squidly, to take part in a 7-part series on the 7 principles of Leave No Trace. As everyone probably knows, Leave No Trace is a set of guidelines or rules, if you want to call them rules, on what to do and what not to do when you're in the backcountry. So in the coming days, you're going to see videos from Jason of Huck Outdoors, Taylor of Southern Hike, Andy of Metro on the Move, Keith of Gone Feral with Squidly, Melissa of Unlikely Hiker, and Brad from As the Crow Flies Hiking. So I was asked to go over principle number 1 of Leave No Trace. So let's talk about principle number 1 of Leave No Trace, which is plan ahead and prepare. So every successful backpacking trip starts with proper planning and preparation. So I'm going to go over a couple of things that you need to do to properly prepare for your next backpacking trip. The first thing you should do is to research the trail or national park or state park, wherever you're going. Research the area to see what special rules and regulations that they have. Most every state park or national park has got a website that you can go to and read up on the rules, so you'll know before you get there if they have any special rules. Let's say fire bans. Right now in Alabama where I live, there's a fire ban because we're in a severe drought. So also you can learn about things like camping areas, if they have designated camping areas, if you have to reserve a campsite before your trip, things like parking at the trailhead. You can also read up on any concerns with wildlife in the area. If you're backpacking in bear country, you'll need to know how to properly store your food so that bears or animals in general don't have access to your food. Some areas during wildfire season have parts of trails that are closed that you would probably need to know about before you leave. So just do your research on the area that you're going to be in, and just know of all the special rules and regulations that might be in place before you go. The second thing I want to talk about is preparing yourself for any kind of extreme weather that you may see while you're on your trip, whether it be extreme heat or extreme cold. So look up all your local forecasts so that you'll be prepared for whatever type of weather you're going to be dealing with while you're on trail. Also bring the proper equipment and clothing for the type of temperatures that you're going to see while you're on trail. Before you leave, try to let someone know where you're going to be, what area you're going to be in, just in case of an emergency. So this is a great little piece of gear that I take with me in case of emergencies. It's the Garmin Mini. Basically, I can use this to text my loved ones, let them know that I made it to camp and I'm okay, or I'm leaving camp in the morning. Or it does have an SOS button on the side. If you do get into a medical emergency or something like that and you have to push the SOS button, you can contact the proper authorities if you do need help getting off trail. Also, try to plan your trip around times that the trails are not going to be quite as crowded. So another thing you might want to think about is if you have a large group that's planning on taking a trip with you, you might want to consider splitting up into smaller groups. Also consider the amount of food you're going to need while you're on trail. The amount of days you're going to be out there. Just take enough food so that you can keep your calories up while you're on trail. Also, as far as water, make sure you got plenty of water, and also make sure you know where the water sources are on trail. There's a lot of great apps out there that you can put on a smartphone that will tell you where the reliable water sources are on trail. So that's another part of doing your research before you leave for your trip. One of the most important things that you want to do before you go is to study the map of the area. There are a lot of great maps online that you can look at. There's nothing wrong with taking a paper map with you. I still see people nowadays that have got a paper map on trail. Most people are using their smartphones, and that's great that we have that resource available. There are apps that will show you exactly where you're at on trail. They'll tell you how far you've got to go to get to the next campsite. They'll tell you how far you've got to go to get to the next reliable water source. So yeah, there's a lot of great apps you can put on your smartphone. So take advantage of the technology that we have nowadays as far as navigating your way on trail. So these are some of the things you can do to prepare yourself before you even leave the house to go on your next backpacking trip, if you'll do them. So guys, thank you for allowing me to tell you about principle number 1 of Leave No Trace, planning and preparing for your trip. And if you will plan and prepare properly for your trip, you'll be able to come out and have a great time and enjoy yourself like I am here in the Sipsey Wilderness. So stay tuned tomorrow when Huck Outdoors tells you about principle number 2 of Leave No Trace.